Two little tweaks remaining on this Dr. Z. The output of the wiper of the volume pot goes here through this voltage divider a la a Bassman or Marshall, and then goes with this shielded cable to pin 2 of V2. And it's possible that this is a noisy voltage divider because of one of these resistors, though these are 1-watt carbon films, would rarely have a problem. That one looks here to be discolored. It's just the shadow. But this shielded wire, if I do like this when the amp is on, I can hear it. And a shielded wire should not do that. So this is 15-year-old or more shielded wire from a fairly noisy part of the circuit to the grid. I'm going to replace the shielded wire. I'm going to inspect these resistors, and I'll probably add a 10K resistor right here at the grid to further lower noise and sensitivity right here. A grid stopper right at the grid is the best place to have it. What this does, this 220K voltage divider, is emulate the mix resistors that you'd find in a Marshall or a Tweed Bassman. In a Bassman, they'd be 270K. In a Marshall, they're typically 470K. Here, they're 220. And that just lowers the maximum amount of gain from this pot, which is good. As you've heard in the previous video, this amp has a lot of gain. So without this reduction here, it would be even worse. There are other ways to accomplish this gain reduction, but this is a traditional way to do it. But it does mean that even with the volume pot at 0, this grid is still 110K away from ground. It's not being grounded out when this volume is at 0. So there's a little bit of noise, and this suspect shielded wire exaggerates that or exacerbates that. The other issue is Dr. Z has these 470K resistors in series before the coupling cap feeding the reverb driver tube. So the signal being fed to the reverb is always attenuated a good amount. And so you have a weaker reverb that you then have to amplify more to make audible. And that's just a bad signal to noise ratio. So I'm going to jumper this with some bare wire. I'm going to leave the resistor in place, but add some bare wire to remove this attenuation. So I'll have a stronger signal fed to the reverb tank, and we won't have to amplify the output of the tank as much to hear it. So we'll have a stronger, more audible reverb with a lower noise floor. And what's not to like about that? Okay, new shielded wire here. Still a sensitive grid, but less so. Jumpered wire here, bypassing that 470K. And now with the reverb at 9 o'clock, about 3 if it's a deluxe reverb. If I turn the reverb up more than that, so that's immensely better than it was as it came in. So this is getting better and better.